Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Clark, and to my right, Walsh University head volleyball coach Erin Stine. And Erin, a good weekend. You got that first win. Talk about the win on Friday against Lake State first.
Well, I can say it's very nice to be sitting here with you, finally able to talk about a win. Friday, it was kind of like, the stars are starting to align for us. We first of all had just a wonderful day as a team. We went and did some sightseeing, and we spent some time together as a team. And, in the weeks before this, we've talked a lot about how we're getting better, what we need to do to get better. We're so close. We're right there. And Friday, that finally all came together. We played as a team. We played very consistently. Coaching a female sport, at times you tend to deal with a lot of emotion, whether it be really, really high or really, really low. And we've been really fighting to keep, our emotions within a really reasonable variance so that when we're playing these teams and they start pushing hard, we don't get overly anxious and we don't get overly down. We played very steady, very consistently, made a few errors. I think that's why we went to the fourth set. I believe that was our match to take in 3. But, cleaning up some service errors, a few things here or there. But for the most part, we played well and we played as a team, and there was nothing more rewarding than that.
Numbers in sports sometimes tell it all, sometimes they don't. But I'm going to give you my numbers from Friday. Gina Kramer, 16 kills. Snyder, 15, 11 digs, a .312 hitting percentage. Kelly Miller, 9 kills, .368 percentage, 5 blocks. Liza Flugrat, 9 kills, 6 blocks. Katie Freeze, 8 kills, 3 blocks. Haley Howe, 53 assists. Caitlin Bronikowski, 19 digs. Those numbers, especially the hitting numbers, usually means you win.
Absolutely. And, if we think back to the first time we met after our Clarion tournament, we're talking then about just trying to keep our hitting percentage in the positive. We're hitting a .088. We're hitting, a couple girls are in the negative every match we're doing. And now, weeks into the season, you see, I agree, numbers don't always tell the whole story, but those numbers specifically show how we're getting better and better and better and better. And I think that, I was so proud of our offensive and defensive effort. It was just, like I said, it all kind of came together for us.
Nice to see Kelly come back on Saturday. Again, a .267 percentage, 6 blocks, lost 3-1, but we still played well and took them to the wire in every set.
Absolutely. It was a really good match, a really exciting match. Those are the matches that the travel, I think, takes a bit of a toll on you. We weren't able to play till a little later in the day than we're used to on Saturday. So, like I said, it was a long weekend, and for us, right now our problem is not necessarily starting, which it was, but now it's, we're fine starting and we're finishing really strong. It's that middle, that meat of the game, points 9 through 15, in that range, where we tend to have a drop in crispness of our offense, defensive coverage, tough serving, and then all of a sudden, right around 20, we start to turn it back on, and we're trying to sprint through the finish line. The problem is against teams like, Northwood, they're not going to let you take that lull and then come back. And I think the reason we won the first set against them is because we didn't have that lull. We just steadily kept going. And then in the second set, we started strong, and then they started pushing, and we allowed them to. And then all of a sudden, it was kind of like we had this moment where we said, wait a minute, and then we started going. And we did that the next couple sets. And like I said, we just weren't able to play catch up. So this weekend, going into the crossover tournament, that's one of our main focus is just, okay, in the middle of the match, how do we find that focus? How do we find that sense of urgency in the middle of the game, if that makes sense?
This week, you're almost in Chicago, Aurora. You got Quincy first, Illinois, Springfield, and then Southern Indiana. Matches you can win. But, the travel's tough, which everybody travels. But still, at this point of the season, you're coming off a long trip up north, and then another long trip. Not a lot of return time to get ready for this thing, because you haven't seen these teams. It's a tough thing to prepare for.
Absolutely. We're going on about 48-hour turnaround before we get back on a bus and back to playing. So, again, everybody travels. This one for us is a little tougher just because we're coming off such a long weekend. But I think that we're ready. We do what we can. The sports performance facility that we play in is very loud. It's very, very loud. The teams that we're going to see, we've never seen before. So it's exciting, but, it's tough to prepare for. So we've got film on all all the teams. We've been studying it. We've been blaring music at practice, trying to simulate the loudness. Volleyball is a very contained sport usually. So you go and play at school, and it's relatively calm, and then the points will happen, and people will cheer, and then it calms back down again. Much like tennis, when when you're watching and then it gets quiet. This facility that we're playing at, I believe there's 8 courts side by side by side by side by side, and it's a sea of whistles and screaming and yelling, and so it's a loud place to play. But we're focused on one match at a time. So we've got Quincy first. We're looking at them. We've studied them, and like you said, they're all matches I think that we're capable of winning. We've just got to bring that competitive spirit with us.
I'm Jim Clark. We'll see you next week.